Keep all this to heavy is the head. I see the boat throwing. I'm too full with it. I gotta keep going. Kobe with the wins. You niggas just Ginobili. You winning only cause of me. Let's keep the ball rolling. No disrespect, Slim. Where is your check, Slim?
Welcome back to another episode of the You Weren't There podcast. I am, of course, your host, @Mia Was Here, and we got an amazing episode for you today. I'm super excited about this one. Some State U, Ask Baptiste. We got a special one in here today. Let me just say, I know most of y'all are probably gonna know Baptiste, right? All y'all know y'all following this red nigga online and all that. But let me tell you something. I have known Baptiste a long time. Since I was 19, 20 or so, when we started at Fallsburg together. And let me tell you, I know how he come off online, right? He come off like, you know what I'm saying? Come off like Mr. Wonderful and all that, you know what I'm saying? Let me tell you the truth about this nigga.
What are you gonna tell him?
No, that's actually true. I've known Baptiste a long time. And exactly how he comes off, like in those videos, all of that, like character and persona and personality, and also like genuine concern, right? There's like a kindness that he exudes. It comes off like that because it's all true. I have known Bap for a long time. I have so much love, so much respect for him, and I'm super glad we got him on the couch today.
Wow. Hey, I appreciate that. Hey, I did. Hey, that's not what I thought. Right. I appreciate that. That felt like a little play action there. You know?
Those are good flowers.
Hey.
But also, we have a new guest here today. Some State U. Introduce yourself for the people.
Yeah, my name is Jay, and I created a comic book that's based on the HBCU experience.
And it's fire.
Oh, thank you. It's called Some
Right
State University.
Mm.
You know, it's slapstick comedy. You know, I didn't want to go like the different world route. Because like this is my experience, or like somewhat of my experience. I want to give like what the true experience is. You know what I'm saying? So
Not it matters.
Right.
The
So
genuine experience is important, and I feel like when I look at like comic books, because I like kind of grew up a fan of comic books, and now like Marvel and all those things. Like I feel like there is like this element of like super fantasy and all of it.
Yeah.
But also like there's a reason why people like Tony as much as they do. Just because he's funny and he seems like a real dude.
Yeah.
Right? Like,
Yeah.
Like I'll never forget one of my favorite lines from it was in the first Avengers movie, I think. And it was Captain America. He was asking Tony, like, take off the suit. Who are you? That nigga said billionaire, philanthropist.
He did
like,
say that.
That was one of my favorite lines in that whole movie. Take off the suit of armor and who are you? Billionaire, genius, playboy, philanthropist, installed time.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I helped y'all sometime try to win this jump.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Oh, before I left. You know what I'm saying? That to me is so real. Like,
Yeah.
that's what I like in my comic books. That's what I like in my movies, and hopefully we'll get to see some State like hit that level.
Hey, well, that's that. Well, I guess we talk about that later. But that's like in the work.
Right.
That's what I'm trying to do. You know, I had a situation last year where it could have been. I don't really want to go too deep on why it didn't happen, but I had a little setback.
Okay.
So now, like, I'm just right now animating it myself. Just to push it out, just to get like little snippets,
Right.
and then so it can build some traction. But that's my immediate goal for this, because like I like doing comic books. It's always been a goal of mine, but the real goal is to get it on the screen.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But the truth is, like, you don't know what God is protecting you from. Like sometimes, like things don't happen exactly how we wanted them to. Or in the timing that we wanted them to, and we just assume that, like, man, like it feels like the worst thing in the world in that moment.
Yeah.
But the truth is, like, sometimes God is just protecting you.
Yeah.
You were not ready. Who you would have become as a result of everything going your way in that moment would have been maybe somebody that you weren't proud of, or you wouldn't have been able to do everything with the people that you had involved in that situation. He's holding on so that you can get bigger or have a bigger opportunity in a situation that comes later on. You do not know what God is protecting you from. You really don't. And so I think like there was a time where like loss is like really hurting.
Yeah.
And I think now I just look at them as like God's protection. Like, all right, if this thing that I thought I wanted so badly does not happen, I feel like that's God protecting me either from myself or from the people that I'm supposed to be dealing with in the situation. So I wouldn't, I don't trip off of it no more, and neither should you.
That's good.
That's God's protection.
I'm so happy you said that because like y'all ever I'm a brother, so and I'm about to ask y'all this. I know y'all women do it. Y'all have done Reiki?
Yeah.
I don't even know what that is.
So look, there was this lady, she was out Elkridge or whatever, and my cousin put me onto it. So what they do is they do like an energy reading of you, right? So like I went to her office and she says, wow, shit to me. She was like, I see a rack of colors. But she didn't say that. She don't talk like that. She was like, I seen like all these colors on you, but she could sense that like it was a negative, like not negativity, but like other people's energies was like in me.
Yeah.
And she was like, I get a sense like some people want to own you. Some people want to take your, you know what I'm saying? So like, and she was like, it's something that you want to do. But like, in order for you to get that, you got to let some of that go. And that's wild that you said that because that was around this time last year.
I believe that. I truly do. Like, I feel like energy transfers.
Yeah.
So no matter what your belief system is, right? And we respect everybody up here, right? Chaz is Muslim, I'm Christian, you know what I'm saying? Like, we respect wherever your beliefs lie. As long as you believe in something that's bigger than you.
Yeah.
The most important thing. Now, I do get a little scared of people who say they don't believe in anything. Mostly because I think it becomes very easy to like become completely self-absorbed, right? Because your entire life becomes about what you think is best and not necessarily what is best. And so that worries me a little bit, but certainly like energy transfers, and it's important to like align yourself with the things and the people, the energies, the situations that are not just going to make you successful, but help you to be your best self. Like when you look at what's happening, especially now with like a lot of the wealthier people in this society, do they seem happy to you?
They fake happy.
I want all the things,
but
I want to be at peace with myself. And like, I'm gonna be honest, like Zuck, he doesn't seem like a happy person.
Nah,
he seems like a nigga with everything and nothing.
I think that, and I put this. I remember making this post, and I remember talking to a lot of my family members. I say happiness is a choice because no matter where you are in your personal life, like you can look at the good or the bad. So if you can choose, if you choose to always look at the bad, you'll never be happy. It doesn't matter if you have no money or $1 million. Like how do you see someone as a kid with technically nothing? Like find a way to just have joy. I think it's like there's statistics on kids laugh like 244 times more than adults.
Man,
that makes sense.
Hold up. I don't mean to cut you off, but like that got me thinking because like now that I've always been a goofy kid. Like I can't believe I'm about to say this, but like in in school, I was always getting in trouble. Not in trouble, but like they would talk to me about laughing because I used to laugh so much. And they're like, anyway. But now, like I miss that about me since I'm becoming an adult. Like all that's going away. Like I used to I could look at something like right there. he was I'm sorry.
He's taking a snap. Yeah.
You like, still got it. Right through.
Look at that. We watching the game and we talking to you.
Oh, yeah. So like, but like a part of me is like, I miss that joy about me. So I believe everything that you said about whatever it was, 200. Anyway, go ahead, man.
Well, no, it's just you got to choose to be happy, like in any given moment, like when bad things happen, when good things happen. So I think that people when you amass a certain amount of wealth, and I can't speak from experience, I'm just like, well, the more you gain, you kind of sometimes can lose perspective that, you know, just be happy, just to learn to be happy in the given moment. So when you said does Zuck look happy, it's probably because all the photos we taking of him, he probably in some intense moments. And so you got to find, like, regardless of where you are in life, you still got to find your happy moments, you know, I used to do a lot of obstacle course races. And, you know, like, and sometimes you're just hurt, you know, like you're 10 miles in, you're doing obstacles. And, you know, just sometimes I realized when I had the most fun was when I just laughed. I'm like, man, we just having a good time, man. Forget it. Nothing feels good. It ain't going to feel good. Like, you know, like eat, you know, like I got a peanut butter jelly sandwich in my book bag and now I got mud on it. You know, like, whoa. Like, and I'm just like, I just say words of affirmation. This is the best sandwich I ever had.
I did that race 1 year. Trash. And I was like, oh, never go back. This is it. Like, I did that motor race like 1 year. And I was like, oh no, this is it.
But yeah,
Never coming back.
you just got to choose to be happy. And sometimes it ain't always an easy choice, you know, like, but you got to legitimately look at the good or the bad. So regardless of whether you're wealthy or you're poor, you just got to stand in that moment and look at what is good. So somebody, you know, because somebody asked me, I remember one day it's like my car broke down. Like somebody I was working with was giving me all sorts of like chaos, and you know, like one of my team members that was on the team was like, he wants to do his own thing, jump off, but it's like right in the middle of, he's supposed to show somebody a property, and I'm like, hold up, man, I'm paying you, and now it felt like everything I put my hands on that day was burning down. But in the moment of it, I was just like, I don't got time to have a bad day. And I showed up, like my car broke down. I was like, all right, I'm gonna Uber to the first thing I got to do. I'm gonna book a rental car while I'm in the Uber. So I was like, you know what? The economy car is only $15 cheaper than the luxury car. I'm gonna get me a luxury car today. So I turned as much. I was just like, I'm gonna just try to find little wins in a day. So that day I drove an X5. I'm driving around, you know, like, and then they ended up comping the gas for me the next day.
Oh, wow.
You know, like insurance covered my car getting towed, you know, like ended up being a cheaper repair later on down the line. But I just said, I refuse to be sad today. Every person I showed up to, big smile on my face. I was just like, gave him a hug, like, wow, man, it's a great day. The sun is shining. I got air in my lungs. Like, let's go. And although the world could be burning around whatever's happening, I'm just like, I'm just going to focus on the good things happening today.
Why do you think it like
I've already had bigger traumas happen, you know, so, you know, like I've been in major car accidents where I had to relearn how to walk. So to me, nothing is more challenging than that moment. So a lot of times when I look back at life, I'm just like, well, shoot, I can still walk. You know, I can still.
So you got gratitude. So what she was saying, though, I agree with you. Happiness is predicated on choices, but also is predicated on the type of heart you have or the spirit you have. So a lot of times with like wealthy people, like she said, like she named, to amass that type of wealth, you lose piece of your spirit or your soul. And so if you can't look in the mirror, then I'm not happy no matter what I got. If you, like you said, you can be poor or rich, but if I'm doing certain things that don't align with my inner, I'm gonna be unhappy. No matter what I got. So your stories, you just have gratitude. So that's why you can look at and be happy whatever space you in, because you could obviously look in the mirror. But some people like Zerk, you know what I did to get this?
Who I had to become to get it. You know, so I can see that, because there's so many choices along the road to who you're gonna be to say this. And I was like, and I tell people all the time, I was like, I don't have no ops. Ain't nobody looking for me, because I the way that I personally, I'm just trying to keep my, like, be integrate, like be an honest person throughout the entire way of life. So it's like, if I get rich, great. If I don't, it's okay. Like, I'm like, I know the effort that I'm gonna put in is gonna be there. And then just being, and I think like you said, it's like if you have to lose pieces of yourself to get somewhere else, you know, like how worth it was that journey. So it's like, as long as you kind of keep perspective of where you're going, that's why I love seeing dollars. Like, I don't believe that people shouldn't get wealthy. Like, you know, like there's so many good, like wholesome stories of like Shaq, you know, like who I don't know him personally. I've just seen,
he
like,
helps people all the time.
Yes.
He'll just be in a Best Buy and see somebody buying something and be like, oh, okay, I'll pay for all that.
Yes.
He'll do that for like 5 people.
You know how many
Shaq is very giving.
You know how many stories that like that you've heard over the year, like consistently.
And you hear them from other people who are not Shaq.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's the biggest part, is that he's not saying I did this or making a commercial about it. It's just
It
like,
be other people telling you what Shaq did.
Mhm.
yes. Oh my God. So
Mhm.
that's where I'm like, that can be good, but I feel like it's somebody that hasn't lost perspective on the wealth, like of who that made them. So money sometimes just makes you more of who you are. Like,
Mhm.
so, like, are you a good person inherently before the money comes into your life, or were you already that person?
Right.
And now it just is shining a big light on that part of yourself.
So that being said, does money buy happiness?
Yeah, I think it helps. I don't think it's gonna buy you complete happiness, because it's funny. I was just listening to a video about this cat who won like the lotto or whatever, and he was saying, and I believe it. Like, it's gonna help out a lot. It's gonna make you happy and like for most things. But I mean, you're gonna have messed up days. You might lose someone that you really care about. You might trip and fall in front of a rack of people. That's not cool. But at the end of the day, I think it depends on who you are. Like he said that if you, like, what did he say? He said if you have a lot of money and you're still unhappy and you're still whatever, that's on you. That is on
I
you.
believe that. I absolutely think that money can buy happiness.
Yeah.
There is no problem I have that money doesn't. I feel like I don't have any problem. So like
Mm.
$10 million, that fixes everything. I'm
Yeah.
good. like
Yeah.
I ain't got no other problems because I fight back. I ain't got no problems. You know what I'm saying? Like if you don't like me, you all by yourself. Because I probably don't even know who you are. Like I feel like people that don't care for me, I don't know them.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So like it doesn't matter.
I
Like,
just
you don't matter.
Yeah.
You're all alone. Like
Yeah.
in your hatred for me because I don't know you. Other than that, like a couple of
I
hours.
think it applies to those
Hey,
who are like,
no, you disagree, Chad.
No, I ain't got nothing. Go ahead. He got it.
I think it applies like to those who like got a silver spoon and you always rich. Then that applies to you. Like you just ungrateful, you unhappy because you just haven't been through nothing. But I think people who've been through stuff, like it'll make them happy, whatever. So yeah,
I think it just makes it easier to be happy. Like so,
That's more
because
better.
when you have the ability to just solve all your problems quickly, efficiently, easy, then it just makes it removes all the things that like you're saying, I'm not happy because this isn't there or that's not happening.
yeah.
The money just allows all those things to happen. So it should just be easy for you to be happy, as opposed to when you you don't have money, a lot of problems just start to feel like they're multiplying. So then it becomes a little bit harder to be happy.
Because like a lot of, as I think, especially in our community, a lot of your problems are financial, and and those problems accrue interest. So and they accrue interest over long periods of time. So yeah, money does help with a lot of the more immediate issues. But I do think you need to already be in a good place for that to be true.
I got a question for y'all, right? So like, all right, so for you, because like how your mindset is, like even like with me today, before I came here, like something happened. I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. But I'm like, you know what? I took the route you did. So it's a good evening. I'm about to have a podcast. I'm about to have fun. Do you think that like is a test to see? All right, I'm gonna see how you gonna be with like whoever you believe in. You know what I'm saying? Is the test like to see? All right, I'm gonna approach it this way. I'm gonna approach it this way, and then like afterwards, things start to blossom. Cause like with me, like I remember I had a car accident over here on Silver Hill Road. It was like 10 years ago, and it was bad. And I remember my family was like, I don't know how you made it out of there. Like I was like, I wasn't like you, but like you literally see a light flashing in front of your eyes.
I definitely had one of them.
Yeah, and it's like after that, but the mindset that I had was like, I remember, I had a little cast on, and I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna do some art. I'm good. I'm alive, and like stuff just started blossoming for me after that moment. So, do you think that that's like a test, like us going through that? Like,
I think every negative thing that happens in your life.
think so?
Personally,
Mhm.
I do.
I think it is. I think it's to me it's like working out and lifting weights. It's like, how do you get stronger? Like you typically get stronger by breaking down a bit.
Mhm.
By going through something tough it typically makes you like more like better off. Like so, and somebody asked me the other day, it was like, I told them I was like, I feel like I continuously put myself in tougher situations. And they said, well, why do you do that? Because I was like, because when I overcome it, I'm so much further than when I began.
Right.
So like when I bought my first property, I bought like the max of what I could afford, like the absolute top of what I could afford. But it made sense financially because I was like, all right, I can rent it out and break even. But it was literally I couldn't afford it on my own. So and then life does what it does. I get laid off at that time. Not really laid off, but I lose the job that I had at that time, and there's a gap. And so it's like, oh, okay, boom, how do I get out of this situation? So it's like I looked around and said, all right, well, you know what? I got 3 rooms in here and I got a basement. Let me go ahead and put my basement out on Airbnb.
Right.
Went and put my basement on Airbnb, started Ubering and like Uber driving people from when I got a new job, I was driving to work. I was bouncing at night. And then I got a better job after that. But by that point, when I came out of that struggle period, I now understood how to make passive income because now not only my now wife, she moved in as well. So, I went from barely able to afford this place to this place actually brings in a surplus of money. It's cash flowing $1,000. Yeah, it's cash flowing $1,000 while I live there now. So it completely flipped that situation. Then I got a job, so now and then that turnaround I started making 6 figures. So then it just changed the entire avenue of where I came out of. But I don't feel that I would have had the motivation had I just lived the way I was before, because I would just live with family members and I was just taking it easy, doing whatever. Once that fire got on me, I was like, nah, man, I refuse to fail.
I think that's true in almost everything too. I think if you experience a breakup, right? So the word says that test and trial comes to make you mature and complete so that you like that. And I think that's always been a scripture that stuck with me. Because I've never been a person who know the Bible back and forward, but there are things that stay with me, and that's and I think that's because even in the worst possible situation, right? Your heart is broken, you don't know if you're gonna love again, you have no idea how you're gonna come out of this. I think the worst heartbreaks make you more compassionate, right? Because now you understand what it's like to be broken, to be hurt, to be at your wit's end with it. So when you see somebody else going through something, relationship or not, where they seem like they're at their wit's end, it increases your compassion. So I think that every test and trial that you go through, every ugly moment of your life is something to make you smarter. Something to make you more mature. It's something to soften you. It's something to create more compassion in you, so you have understanding for other people, so you can help other people go through things. I think that's just the way that I see life now. But I don't know if I would see it that way if I hadn't been hurt so.
That's deep.
Yeah,
I agree with that. Yeah, it's like wow.
Yes.
So I don't trip when things happen anymore. It's just all right. I look at things now what is God trying to show me?
Yeah.
Whether that's your job, whether that's your partner, whether that's your home, right? Because I had a renovation done in the house this summer, which was so expensive and so time consuming. But it was time because I've been in that house for 13 years, so it was time to renovate. Yeah, it's equity. That's why I keep the house. Which actually I learned from Baptiste because I had brought Baptiste in as my friend.
Yeah.
It was weird how that whole thing happened. So a friend of my mother's, I wanted her to help me sell my house. That's what I was thinking. I had probably been in the house maybe 6 or 7 years at that point, give or take. And she said, well, look, I got this young guy who works with me. He's brilliant. I'm going to bring him in and he'll help us with, the process because he has a little more time than I do to help me with this thing. And it was that team.
Wow. What
Baptiste, what are you doing here?
And he gave me much good advice as far as the house and renovations that needed to get done and things that we should focus on to make it more sellable. I took all of that and used it in a renovation this summer. So because I have so much equity in the house, and this is truly a seller's market. So I do not want to sell my house anymore, at least not right But also I got into some other real estate stuff because of Baptiste. I mean, he just gave me a lot of good game, and so we started kind of just like exploring the options, and we ended up buying like some small unit apartment buildings. And it went from like 2 of those buildings to like 12 of those buildings.
Wow.
And we got them at a time before like the market exploded. We wouldn't be able to afford to buy any of these buildings now. But because like I had a talk with Baptiste, decided not to sell the house, and maybe like 9 months later, I came into a couple dollars from something, and was just like, maybe we should like buy some small unit apartment buildings. Like, let's just see how it goes. Like, let's get a 4 unit and just see.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, this was really easy. And then, and you know, the thing about DC is like, if you having trouble putting a tenant in something, you can always run it to Section 8. They don't take care of it. But it's an easy way to make sure you get your money.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we just had kind of like opened the door, and one opportunity turned into like 10. So, but that would not have happened had I not had a conversation about T first. So, I mean, like that's the thing though. Like sometimes, like people are a blessing, right? Without you even like knowing, or without you even being able to like account for like all the ways in which that they helped you or done something amazing in your life. And so, like I got a lot of love for that because of that. Because like he's been such a blessing without even really knowing.
Right.
And I think that that's really the measure
Right.
of a man.
Right.
It's like how much good he does without him even being able to like brag about it. You know what I'm saying? Like, no, he's just out here doing good works. You don't even know. He's just out here doing good works.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right, for real.
that to me is the measure of a man. And
Yeah.
I mean, one day we all, whether you believe in higher power or not, everybody gonna have to answer for how they live in this life. We all gonna have to answer for how we live one day. Whether that's karma or however you see that. One day you had to answer for how you was living out here. And I think like that's such an amazing thing about some people. It's like they're just doing good without even really realizing. Because that's just the nature of who they are.
Right.
And that's always been the nature of Eve. So.
Right.
I think that one of the biggest things I always say is like if you move like people are watching you at all times, you'll be surprised what happens. So I do believe that like the energy that you put out there is going to be what comes back to you. So if you keep putting good energy out at all times, then you know, like I don't give with the expectation of getting, like, because that's how you get disappointed. But I do understand that if I put enough good out there, then that should be what comes back. Life is life, so you know, just negative stuff happens. But if you continuously fight through that and constantly put out that positive energy out into the world, you know, like you'll be surprised what life throws back at you. And I've noticed that when you know, like certain people, when they're negative and that negativity in their own ways is what hurts them.
Right.
So I'm just trying not to be that person. Even when I see some of those things, I'm like, man, let me just exit this scenario. So like when I do see stuff that is like we said earlier, it's like, hey, someone has a problem with me. I was like, you by yourself. I don't even know if you exist. I'm like, I will see like a problem brewing. I'm like, you know what? Let me go.
Right.
You know, like I see a fight brewing in the parking lot. I'm like, wow, that looks crazy. Okay, you know what? Let me just. I gotta get to where I'm going. I'm not.
I think we're at that age where it's just like, nah, I just rather remove myself. Like, I don't got time to be going back and forth. Like, and I'm at a point in life where I just really don't have the energy to do that with you. I think for me it boils down to just that. It's not that I couldn't like match your petty for petty. I could. I could. But I don't. I just don't have the energy to do it no more. It really boils down to that. Like I have other things to do. I have things to accomplish. Like God got purpose for me. That's why we still here. Right? If your purpose was done, you wouldn't be here anymore. You'll be returned back. So the fact that you still here means that your purpose is not done, that you are not done, that there is still work to do. So I don't have time to be going back and forth with your ass. Like, listen, like you all alone on this island of misery. I can't, like, I don't know what to tell you. Like, and also, like, I think in like with regard to what Baptiste is saying about like the truth is that like none of your good works will return unto you void, right? So every good thing you put into the world is coming back tenfold, no question. But also, conversely, all the ugly stuff you're doing when nobody is watching, those things are coming back to you too. And I think that there are a lot of people who look at the outward nature of themselves and say, I'm a good person, right? But what are you doing when nobody's watching you?
Right.
Who are you
That's
then?
that is
Right.
true.
That is really,
That's
to
true.
me, the determination of like where your life is going. There are people who like on the surface everything looks great,
Yeah.
but then when you start peeling them layers back on their credit, when you start peeling them layers back on like what their living situation is, and what their job situation is, and what their future look like, the things that matter.
Yeah.
Right, not being able to buy clothes and shoes and take a little trip to LA and shit like that. This
Right.
shit that means nothing.
All right.
No. When you peel back the layers on your life, when you peel back the layers on your legacy, what do those things look like?
Yeah.
And if all you got in this life is a new coat and a passport, you know what I'm saying, and an Instagram with a bunch of followers, I don't know what you really did out here.
Right, right.
I think it's important to be a person who, like, I mean, the truth, like,
No, for real.
it's important, like, to do that for yourself,
Yeah.
right? You don't need nobody else judging you. You don't need nobody else pointing fingers at you.
Right.
But you gotta start looking at yourself honestly and start really observing, like, who am I when nobody is looking?
Yeah.
Who am I when nobody is around?
Oh.
And does like what I want for myself, what I want for my life, my goals, my ambitions, like, does that match who I say I am when nobody can see me but God?
Yeah. Wow.
That's the important thing.
Wow.
But it's too many people, like, all they got is the surface.
Mhm.
And then when you peel back the layers on the surface, there ain't nothing going on. You ain't got nothing going on.
That's true. I like this podcast. Man.
I don't know how we got here today.
Wow.
We didn't follow the format at all today. But
But like it's crazy because like I need honestly I needed this talk. Like when I'm sitting in the parking lot, I'm literally like, you gotta be kidding me. Like, nah, man. Like what? But like this is perfect. I needed this.
Mm.
So I'm
Yeah.
thankful that you know what I'm saying.
Work away.
Yeah.
Oh man,
So,
yes,
yeah.
sir.
Every week.
This one thing you could have gave a heads up.
I did. I mean, I did.
Nah, that was not
I said at 5 o'clock. I said, all right, I'm late.
Yeah, you said 30 minutes.
But it's not my fault, y'all. Listen, like the ICE checkpoints, they're increasing. So
Hold up, they was checking you.
Yeah.
I mean, for real.
yeah, I pulled over at ICE checkpoint. And they've been like,
You know, I mean, ask me where was you coming from?
I was in Greenville.
You do give me a Dominican vibe.
Hey yo.
You got me shocked. I didn't even- we gonna edit that out. But I was like coming off of 295. So I wasn't on the parkway, but I was coming off 295, making that left to go towards, what is that, Roosevelt?
Yeah.
Okay, Eleanor Roosevelt?
Yeah.
So I was right there with Eleanor Roosevelt.
Wow.
Right there. But
That's
also,
crazy.
like, just generally speaking, I've been seeing more of that. So I had to go
Yeah.
into my office. I don't go into the office. For those of y'all that don't know that, I work from home, like,
Oh, that's
literally
beautiful.
100% of the time. So I go into the office like maybe 2 or 3 times a year. And so, so that 2 or 3 times a year is usually in December.
Yeah.
Because we have holiday parties when people come in town, because my office is remote overall. So most of the people that I work with also do not live here. So when they come in town for the holiday party, which is kind of mandatory, we usually have like a team building exercise and a team meeting because people are already going to be here. And because I run like an employee resource group, I will usually plan like a volunteer service activity.
Mhm.
So last week, what we ended up doing was packing up like 50 shoe boxes to go so others might eat. And so the boxes have like this boxes for like general, boxes for women, which will have like sanitary napkins, for example, and then boxes for kids that'll have other stuff.
Mhm.
So that's the only time of the year I have to go in the office. I went into the office last week. When I was
Wow.
coming back home from the office, like it was like 10 National Guard officers just walking down 8th Street.
Mm.
I've seen the National Guard pulling people over like on Central Avenue, which is like in the vicinity of where I live. Not quite, but close. I've seen them like
What?
I had kickball
Yeah.
games at the National Mall like
Mhm.
every week. I've seen them like they stop and watch our kickball games. So I have been seeing them more and more and more throughout
Wow.
the city. Like it's getting more populated than ever. Like
Mm.
I'm seeing them in my neighborhood. I'm seeing them in other neighborhoods I'm going to. I'm seeing them coming back and forth on my way to work.
That's
Like
crazy.
I thought that they were reducing the presence, but what I'm seeing over the last month,
That's
they've been everywhere.
that's crazy.
So
Wow.
y'all be safe out there. Y'all be careful. apparently I'm Dominican or Somali. That's what they saying. So I definitely got pulled over today, and also like I was.
So wait, what they looking at your like what?
So there's a checkpoint, so everybody has to stop. So all those situations I've named were different. So when I was on 8th Street, I just happened to be riding down 8th Street because that's where I live in that area. I'm crazy, so let's not get too deep into that. But when I was driving down 8th Street, it was just like 10 of them walking down the street. They didn't even know I was there. Right? I just happened to see them. When I was at the National Mall, my kickball team plays down there, so they literally stopped and watched the games. They were like cheering us on, right? When I was on my way to the store on Central Avenue, they was pulling somebody over and arresting them.
Wow.
And tonight was a checkpoint where they was locking a ton of people. So I mean, all those circumstances have been different from each other. I'm just noticing them because it feels like within the last couple of months it's been picking up.
Right.
So I mean, it has me nervous, and
That's wild because I barely seen it.
that's the thing, right? I had not seen them at all. Like when people were really talking about it on the news, I hadn't noticed them at all. But over the last month, like it seemed like they've been everywhere. Like especially during kickball season. Kickball season, we move because it's winter league now, and so we're like playing in a different place. So I don't see them at Steve Park, which is where we play now. But I definitely they were at the National Mall every week when we play.
You're closer to get to the White House.
Yeah,
Presence you see.
because it's the least amount of crime. It's the
Yeah.
It's the stupidest possible place for idiots to be. But like, okay,
It is.
like
It's
the proof of why you're wasting our tax dollars. Quite frankly, you're not even in crime populated areas. But I do live in.
They're not meant, but the National Guard's not even meant to fight crime. So it's like that's not like they're it's like by nature they're not doing their job. Like
That's why they will stop and watching the kickball game. Wasting my first of all, get your ass from a kickball game and go do some work. My taxes are paying for this. I got to pay for the league and I got to pay for you niggas to be on it. This is ridiculous. I'm paying for everything. I don't like it. You need to get your ass on. We didn't want you there. I'm telling you, don't care. I hope y'all see it. We didn't want you there. All right? Go on, move on about your business. Don't nobody want you watching the kickball game. We're trying to focus. Okay? You carry your ass on. But the point I'm making is they're everywhere. And it looked like all 18-year-olds that was watching us. I was like, are y'all old enough to like be a national?
That's wild.
so,
it was all kids.
and this is why I don't support any raising of any tax ever. Like because it just feels like theft. Because I just watch you waste it. It's like this is like watching someone that owes you money going to the strip club.
Let me tell you, they've been fixing Bennett Road between Southeast and Northeast for about 35 years.
Yeah,
Okay?
she ain't
my
lying
whole
about
life.
that.
My whole life. They've been fixing Bennett Road. I've been paying taxes in this city for 13 damn years. I've been watching. Let me tell you something. They done fixed Bennett Road 6-7 times since I've been paying taxes in the city. I am upset by it. The only thing that is increasing in viability in DC are the cameras. And it's because it's the only way that we generate income. I ain't gonna get into that with you, Mary. But you know.
No,
Yeah.
well, but it's a sabotage because because what you've done is yes, you generated revenue, but on the other hand, you've deterred people from wanting to come into the city.
Facts.
So you beg people like that, and this is not like a rant of anything, but you beg people to come in and spend money downtown, but then you don't create any parking for the people that have the funds to go spend money downtown. Then you tax them with all these little parking with the parking and then the speed trap cameras, which are little
signs. The signs themselves are traps. Can I park here?
Yeah.
You can park this day, not this time, not this day, not this time, but you can't park here at all. But
the goal though is not to have y'all in my city. That's the goal.
But you need their money in the city.
No.
You do because when you want people to come, because the resistance to wanting to come into work also stems from the fact that I gotta pay. Like if I want to go downtown, I gotta pay to park downtown, so that's $20 a day if you work in the office. Then I gotta avoid all these speed trap cameras on the way there. So and then like once you're there, all right, cool. Now I gotta go buy this lunch, but I feel taxed the entire way through. So when I'm looking at employers. So that's how you get that attitude. Why do I want to go? I don't want to go to the office at all. You've made it unenjoyable.
Because there are people like at my organization. Most of us like live out of town, but there are people who like live within walking distance of the office. They are the ones who tend to go in more often because they can walk to the office. Me, I have done it all. Like I have taken.
That's the
scooters,
goal.
Bikes, like
The goal is not to be inclusive. They're kicking. That's what the plan is when they came in the city to move everyone out of us into ward off in these areas. Get out the city. Let's lock it up. The ones who come in here with their dollars, that live here, y'all can walk in here. Y'all don't need cars and things of that nature. We got everything y'all need. It's gonna be enjoyable for y'all. Outsiders, I'm gonna tax you to enjoy this, but I don't.
But you haven't done it right, because if you look at other cities that have that mentality, they create a larger infrastructure for transportation. So, okay, great. I want to live here and I want to walk. How you can't go from downtown DC to Brightwood easily? Like,
No.
that is equally as expensive as an Uber would be. So
Mhm.
you may as well take an Uber. You might get there a little faster
Mhm.
with a scooter or a bike. But a scooter or a bike at that distance is the same as what an Uber would be.
Yeah.
There's no price differentiation.
So in New York City, you can get everywhere by the train. So of
That's-
course I don't
Yeah.
want you guys with your cars like in the city. Of course they're gonna tax you, because you can park your car at one of these central spots and get everywhere you need to get to within
our public transportation system or use one of our shared taxi services. The infrastructure is built better, like in those cities. So, and that's why you're getting the people moving
out of the city, because they go,
well, shoot, you're going to tax me so heavily. Well, now if I've got to pay $500,000 for a condo, well, what can $500,000 get me in either of these two counties that border here? And then once I move there, I don't feel like coming into the city as much as I used to because you tax so much.
Mhm.
So literally, it's more expensive to buy stuff in the city than it is outside of it. So then all that money moves outside of the city. So although you feel like it's like somebody like robbing themselves of their future. I'm taxing you right now, but I'm missing the future dollars of what could be gained
You know
later.
So,
on.
so does that leave 1% who couldn't do that?
No, the 1%ers are the one you almost have to ignore the 1%ers. They are the aberration. Like
But they don't want to be around. Like I've heard them say, they don't even like to be amongst the, saying the common folk, right? So when I want to go to a beach or whatever, I hear what you're saying, true. But as that 1%er, I don't want to see a commoner.
whoa,
So
Right.
I want y'all out of my
They
space.
do it in Annapolis, right? A lot of the waterfront properties in Annapolis is like a private.
I mean, that's like whenever I go down to like Miami or something like that, and I see like, there's, like they have like a lot of like exclusive private areas. I mean, and you got the 1%ers in DC, like,
This
that's
is-
Georgetown. There will never be transportation really heavily built in Georgetown because they have the money to fight off all of that.
Because this the belly
They
of the
don't want
beast.
to be accessible.
Yeah.
You know,
You know what I'm saying?
speaking of that, and I know that you had talked about this, Baptiste, but I'm very interested in it. And then I kind of want to get into, the art portion, right? But 50-year mortgages, right? Give me a 1 to 2 minute summation of why it's bullshit. Because I know you know. So give me we're not even gonna make y'all think it's all right. It's not. Let me say it up front. It's not. No. Don't. I don't even want you to think it's okay. It's not. Let me tell you something. As somebody with a 30-year mortgage who has broken it down to 15, my mortgage will be paid off in 2 years. And the reason why I did that is because if you pay extra on your principal every year, it'll cut your mortgage, like your mortgage time period. So my mortgage will be paid over 2 years. Let me tell you, as somebody who is almost done with this bullshit, you do not want a 50-year mortgage. But I know you need an expert to tell you that. I know y'all niggas this. You needed Diddy you needed 50 to tell you something was off with it. Right? You needed somebody to tell you that. Y'all didn't see enough all
Cat said
the
it first.
You needed somebody to tell you. So I'm giving you somebody to tell you why does the term like Baptiste?
all right, just in a quick synopsis. The 50-year mortgage is terrible because in your first 7 years you will have paid off nothing in your property. So you save 200.
Principal versus interest, dummies.
Yeah. So right now, if you like, and I'll break it down for people. If you have a 30-year mortgage in your first 10 years, you should have a good amount of equity in your property. So if you want to sell, if you want to do anything, you can sell your property. Even if your home doesn't appreciate, you can still sell it for the same thing you bought it for, have money to move on to your next venture, whatever. In a 50-year mortgage, in your first 10 years, you will just pay purely interest. You'll have literally not enough to sell your house and break even if your home does not rapidly appreciate. So if I buy it, all I've paid in the first practical decade is just interest. So then when I go to try to sell it, if my home's not appreciated in value, if I bought a $500,000 house, well, when I go to sell it, you got to pay fees. So a lot of people on the front end, the sellers are the ones paying the buyer's agents and the seller and the listing agent. You don't even have enough money to pay your transfer recordation taxes and all the fees with the agents and everything regarding the home sale. You don't have enough to actually transfer it and break even. So it's just horrible from that aspect because most people move from property one to property two within that first 10 years. So it's just going to be a big trap for people later on down the line. So that's honestly why I just think it's a terrible product, because not only, and then the average age of the homeowner right now is like 38, 39. I just did a video on that. So you're 39, let's say you buy it at 30. The average lifespan of a black male, I think, is like 74, 75. You literally will not pay off that house before you pass away. So how do you retire?
That's crazy. Yeah.
How do you physically retire in life? The thought is you get a 30-year mortgage, you can afford that mortgage when you buy it, and then you pay that.
You're killing all your retirement money.
Yeah,
You need your house.
You need a house, like a functional retirement plan. I need a paid off property, and I need income coming in each month. So if you invest in your 401k and you buy a property, you're at least guaranteed to have something. You can at least try to retire. You need a little bit more the way this inflation's working, but that 50-year mortgage will literally ensure that you pay that debt until you die. The only person that's going to win is the bank.
Hold on, I got a question. I just had not epiphany or something, but I just heard you say something because I came in, I'm like, this dude looks familiar. You do have a YouTube.
Yeah, I do have a YouTube.
And it's about
He's very big on TikTok too.
Really? Because I was looking at I don't have it on my phone, but it's on my one of my iPads. I like to follow a lot of realtors. I don't know if it was you,
but I do normally home tours.
Yeah, it was. Was it in Virginia?
I don't think I've done anything. I don't think I've done any videos in Virginia. But
okay, then was it in? Hold on, wait.
All my stuff has been DC or Montgomery County so far.
Okay. Was it North Bethesda? No. Was it? It's probably like a white house. It was like a modernized house. I wish I had my iPad.
Well, it's probably like that describes a lot.
Look, when I saw him, I was like he looked familiar, but I couldn't. But then I heard you say that, and I'm like, oh, this lavish. It was a lavish house, bro.
It was probably that, but it's probably that Potomac house. It was probably that Potomac house. That's the best video I did, and that house was so sexy.
It was like square, right?
Yeah,
like white.
Yeah, white square house. I remember I was, and so I had a client where we were looking at, some really top end houses, $2 million houses.
Oh, this guy.
And so she was looking at a $2 million. Now there's levels to wealth because she's looking at the $2 million house. So there's a $4 million house on the corner. So I wrap up the showing with the $2 million house. The $4 million house is right there. I just pull out my phone and I see, well, shoot, it lets me go in that house right now. So, which is literally not the case with $4 million houses. The agent has to be present. It's a big production. He's got to walk you through what the developer did. But in this case, it was available. So, in that sense, I just went in the property and I was like, oh, this is beautiful. I went back to my car. I grabbed some of my gear and I just started filming it. So I went live initially, showed how long it took. It took me 15 minutes to turn on all the lights in the property.
So
it was huge. It was like 15,000 square feet.
Was it like the actual rooms? Because I look at you all, it's like, so we got this room right here, right here. It's like in 15 minutes you can
yes.
Wow.
Yes, because it's
That's
not
crazy.
The thing is that the more you show a house, once I walk through a space, I don't need to walk through that space again, right? So there's
why is that?
I've done the job so much. So it's like if I walk,
Second nature.
yeah. So when I walk through your house, I don't need to walk through a single other house on your block, in your neighborhood, or in Deanwood, or in Capitol Hill, or in like most of these homes, or even in like some areas in Silver Spring. Because they're all built the same. If they're built in 1943 and it's a colonial, you know the staircase is going to be in the middle. Your kitchen's going to be on your right or left hand side. Underneath the carpet is probably hardwood floors, and so you already know these things. So in the luxury space, if you go to a luxury home and it's over 10,000 square feet, now those might be different because those might be custom builds. So, but as I'm walking through, I'm looking. Oh, that's a quartz countertop. Like, is there any lights, any special lights anywhere? So that's what I'm looking for, the differences from this house, from that house. So because all these homes have the same thing. Is it recessed lighting? How tall is the ceiling? I think this is, like, I can't dunk. So, like I can't reach that. So that's looks like 10 feet. Like, so it's like, or I look up and I'm like, man, that's probably 20 feet. Like I'll look up and you kind of say like, that's probably double where I could probably reach. So you're like, all right, that's probably at least 20-foot ceiling. So you just get through and you see all the things and you just kind of look at what's unique about the property. And now once you start walking, you just talk freely. So when I'm doing tours, or when I do like any videos, I actually just talk freely. I just talk about what I'm seeing right in front of me. And it's just, and you're comparing it also to things you see in the area. So yeah, I just wrapped up the $2 million tour. So now I just toured this $2 million property. So now I'm talking about the difference between this house and that house. So hey, like you might, if someone questions the value of it, well, we could tour that. Like and my client was actually upset. She's like, why didn't you take me on that tour? So we went back. I was like, because you were only shopping. You told me 2 mil was the max. Right. I thought y'all didn't like when we showed y'all stuff above the budget. Right. I mean, but
that happens. Right?
Yeah.
I had a nightmare experience. I look at people now and like they like holding the key, and I'm just like, shit. Like, my whole body experience was a nightmare. Like,
hey, I didn't help her buy that first one.
It wasn't bad. I had a bunch of inexperienced. I ain't even gonna give out y'all names because y'all black, but it was a nightmare. I had the first problem that I had was the initial real estate agent that I was set to have. He died, and so his company wanted to keep the commission in-house to give to his family. And so I was on board with that. And so I stayed with that particular real estate agency. So the next agent that I had, she had basically started looking at houses before the loan was approved. And she never bothered to check what the max on that would be. And so I'm looking at houses, hundreds of thousands of dollars out of my budget. And mind you, in the process of that, you fall in love with things.
Yeah.
So there was a house on Atlanta Street over there in Southeast. They have built up that entire area. It's worth a fortune now. And it was a 3-level house. You walk in on what is essentially the basement level, and then there's like a sky, whatever that's called, on the top level. It didn't really have a backyard, as so many DC properties don't, but it was amazing. I fell in love with that house. The house was also like $550,000, which was way out of the budget. So I was like, okay, And I'm talking about, she had me looking at like 10, 12 houses, none of which I could afford. Right? So I'm pissed off. So I'm like, come on.
That even sounds crazy.
She had no idea what the loan amount was for.
Wow.
So she just got me looking at shit. So I'm just like, all right. So I had to fire her. I still like you. Like,
I thought you said
he was she had me looking at house, hundreds of thousands of dollars out of the budget. Like, it was crazy. So I was like, all right. So they gave me another agent in there. Well, he didn't care about me because I wasn't looking at houses in a large enough budget. And he was used to dealing with people buying $1 million homes. So he could care less about me. Yeah. So he would just like have me show up at a house, oh, I'm busy today. I'm showing up and he just not showing up.
Wow.
It was a nightmare.
Oh,
wow.
It was a nightmare. So I was like, all right. So I ended up going to my parents' real estate agent. That was a different mess unto itself. I'm not getting into that, but that was a different mess unto itself. I thought that they were colluding with the people who were selling me the house, honestly. There's still a part of me that thinks that 13 years later. But
she got a great deal though, 13 years later.
Let me say this. There is nowhere in the country, and I mean this, I think BAP could certify this. There is no decent neighborhood in the country you could buy a house for what I paid 13 years ago.
No.
No way. It just doesn't.
Yeah.
Oh no, it does. It does.
Wait.
Well, I mean, I'm not saying I don't know if the neighborhood is decent, but it's like Lake Michelin, Iowa. You know, like yeah. I don't know what the name. I might have just made up a city in Iowa, but it does exist. People like when they say there's no more affordable houses, I just started looking up random homes in Iowa. And I was like, well, there are. You can get you a 2-car garage, 3-bedroom, 2 baths, like your dream.
You probably go to like Alabama or Mississippi, maybe.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, you would have to live in a place where they're probably burning crosses on your lawn.
Oh man.
You know, you could live there if that's
Look,
that's where you at.
the whole point is that it exists. It's just not in the DMV. It ain't in the DMV.
It's not gonna be here. It's not gonna be anywhere you want. Like, that's the point. Like, that's the one good thing I can say about my home buying experience was not a positive, but the home itself was worth every dollar.
Right.
Like, because there's nowhere you can go and accumulate this kind of equity this quickly in DC.
Yeah.
Like, you can't. I can't afford to live in DC no more, baby. Like, if it wasn't for these fixed interest rates, I might got a young nigga out by now. I don't know.
But I'm
Shit, 2%, nigga, can't go nothing.
that's never coming back.
It's never coming back. You're never gonna get 2% ever again.
That was like a shooting star in the industry,
I'm
and so I remember I had friends, like shout out to Cam Webb on this one. Every time I talked to this man, he said, "Hey, He said, you didn't buy another one?" Like, I was like, "What are you talking about?" He's like, "Yeah, I know you sold homes, but did you buy another property? It's free money." He said, "I grabbed another 20 units, 30 units. It was like every time I spoke to him, he was just grabbing properties left and right. And then it wasn't until after rates went up and it was like the light bulb of like, oh my gosh, like that is literally free money. That is that because it's on a fixed, and the biggest thing is that it's on a fixed interest rate. It's not variable.
Yeah.
Like areas like Canada has variable interest rates. Only your first 5 years are fixed. So after like that 5 to 7 year, whatever those terms are, it goes to whatever the market rate is. We don't have that. We locked in.
Mind you, the market rate now is what, like 9?
6.2.
Hey, 6.
Yes.
Crazy.
Yeah, it dropped.
8% a couple years ago.
Yeah, I mean, it's fluctuating. It depends on what type of product you're doing. If
You
you're
ain't
doing
getting that
investment
low no
properties, yeah, so,
My mom was like, she got like 2-3%.
yeah. I mean, I got 2.9 on the first home I bought because I bought it and then I refinanced during the pandemic. So
I'm at 5.
hey, look, 5 is good. Like
No, we got in. Woo, right there.
yeah, 5 is good because even 5 don't exist right now. Like I mean, like I just helped somebody get a 5.5. So it's just like there's stuff. Yeah. I mean, I think credit is the most important thing.
Right?
Yeah.
A lot of y'all niggas out here with a 5, 550. And I respect it. I'm not judging you. I'm just saying. A lot of y'all got a 550. What is your perspective? What is your philosophy on people with bad credit? Let's say between 5 and 575. That's where a lot of y'all at. What's your perspective on that particular credit range and the purchasing of their first home?
Okay, so my biggest thing is that I feel like with credit, it's been a lack of education surrounding what makes up your credit score and how to improve it. Like so much of what's happened to people on their credit is just because they just didn't understand how to protect their credit, what to do with their credit. So like shout out to my mother, like she put me on the car note and then she made sure to pay the bill on time. So by the time I got out of college, I had a paid off car under my name with 4 years of great credit history. So she set me up for good success, but then you still got to carry that success forward. But I understood, she just worked really hard to make sure my credit was good. Let me not mess this up. So I had a deeper lock on it. So I made sure, man, I might not love what Verizon's doing or what but they're about to charge me for the thing. It's gonna hit my credit. I'll just pay them. Yeah. I'll just chalk it up to the game because it'll be way harder to get it off my score than to protect the score from it. So I think my thing when you have a 500, the banks aren't going to loan you money, in the 500s. So you hurt yourself on future opportunities. So you can't get into real estate, which is the number one way to build wealth
in the US because you already are going to pay for somewhere where you got to live.
Yeah.
You might as well own that
Right,
spot
right.
because then that's how you get to a 13 years later.
You got some money in
and you
it.
got some amazing investment 13 years later. It wasn't an amazing investment the day you bought it.
Well, I was upside down that house first 2-3 years. I'm trying to tell y'all.
That's how it
I was
is.
a piece of shit. I love that house. I always loved that house, even when I bought other things. But let me tell you, I was upside down in that thing for a minute.
Right.
Yes. So it's not about like so, but it's about like the long term. The home, like I
I
talk.
talked about the first home I bought. Like when I first bought it, it was breaking even. I could barely afford to be there.
Yeah.
Could have gone left. But because I held 7 years later, man, that whole neighborhood, you can't get it. I got in the
Yeah.
threes when I got in that neighborhood in the 300s. Now you can't enter in that neighborhood for you're getting in there in the mid 500s to 600.
Mhm.
So you can't when you have a 500, you block yourself from the opportunities, from the blessing that could be there. So when people say that you're lucky, you know you were prepared for that opportunity.
Yeah.
So to me, it's like you gotta fix that. Like whatever you gotta do, and there's so many programs and there's so many things that can help you fix it. And also it's just like taking that step back to spring yourself forward. Sometimes it's like, hey, you might have if you have a 500, go look at what you can consolidate. Go look at what you can pay off. Like don't maybe just go in and lock in for like a year.
And
Work
really
on that credit.
examine your spending habits.
Yeah.
A lot of you have bad credit because you're more concerned about looking like you have money than actually having it.
That's true.
So like you got clothes and you got shoes and you got passport stamps and you got all the things, but you broke. Your credit dropped 20 points this month. You know what I'm saying? Like you got a $300 limit on a credit card that's overdue. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Which is crazy. Like you got a lot of debt working against you. And don't get me wrong, like debt is like the necessity for building credit, which is disgusting, but it's
No, it's not. It's not the
It's
necessity.
not?
It's not.
Explain.
You don't know. So all right. An
because it
example.
feels like it.
No, an example.
like every
The
time-
access to debt is the access to debt.
Okay.
Because you can go in to your so like an example is I looked on credit card like Credit Karma taught me a bunch of information because once I saw it's like they judge you on your utilization. That's like that's a big part of your score is how much of your credit you're utilizing. So I went and I just sat down and I said I'm going to take a big hit on my credit and I opened up 7
Credit cards in one.
God dang.
Yes. Yes. Yes, because you're also judged on a number of lines of credit that you have access to.
Yeah.
Mm.
And then I proceeded to not use 6 of those 7 credit cards,
Right.
except for like once a year. So a
Mm.
little Banana Republic card, go swipe that once a year on Black Friday. Like I go on Black Friday, buy me a pair of boxers, pay that card off.
Right.
Like,
Yeah,
and then
yeah, yeah.
another, and then like another couple cards that like I just once use, like I use on the
Impulse
occasion.
buys, don't pay attention to this.
No, it's
Yeah,
called
that's-
control, but it's the
that's-
act, but that's
the
why,
game.
but it's
Yeah.
discipline, right? Because they want to see that you have all this, you have access to all these things, but you can keep your utilization underneath 10%. My utilization was damn near at 1% because I was,
My utilization around 7.5.
yes,
Mm.
like because that's smart, that's control. Because, but you got people that would see that they got access to 5,000 and spend all 5,000,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
inversely,
Don't spend what you can pay off in a month.
Yeah.
exactly, you're supposed to use it like cash.
Yeah. Use it like cash.
You
Yep.
cannot afford it.
The whole.
That's lesson number one.
If you look in your bank statement and you don't got $500, do not put $600 on the card. Like
Right,
you're
right,
like
right.
put 500 on, like your max is 500, but on that 500 card, like go and ask for an increase to 1,000 because then if you spend 100, your credit score is going to go up. If you spend if you got a $500 card and you spend 300, your credit score is going to go down. But meanwhile, if you've got access to 3,000 and you only spend 300, your credit score is going up because it's the utilization that's hurting you. So people just aren't even educated in the credit space,
Yeah.
and then their credit's being hurt because of the lack of education. So I've seen it so many times when I'm evaluating tenants. The best tenant I've ever put into a property was one that he just didn't have, like, he paid everything in cash. So he had one unpaid Comcast bill. It was like $68. So his score was like a 580. Like, like it was like, dude, you could just pay this off, man, and be
No,
done.
for real, man.
And he's like, "You want me to pay it right now?" I was like, "No, I don't want you to pay it right now." Mostly because I'm about to. Yeah, like
that little Verizon joint.
And you can, and so he's actually being hurt. His credit score is actually going down. And to me, he has great credit, right? Like, because I'm like, that means you make, and I saw that he was making like $78,000 a year. And the only thing on your credit, your only door is one unpaid Comcast bill because you felt like, hey, I paid y'all didn't count the payment right. Y'all charging me for it. Was like they're charging me for equipment I returned. And I'm like, I know they are, but like it's hurting your score, and that's hurting you from getting into the apartment. So people are wanting to charge you more, wanting additional month's deposit. They want almost $2,000 more for you to move into the space for $68.
Yeah, my wife.
The right girl would have taken care of it. The right girl.
She
So,
said,
I can only reference myself.
no, because that's what happened. My wife was like, "This, oh, you good? You really got good credit. You ain't got nothing but a Verizon bill on here. So you got nothing knick-knack to pay $30. Oh damn, I ain't even know."
now had he gone,
Yeah,
don't combine.
In struggle.
Hold together.
Look, do not look. I always said it. I was like, before I was getting married, I had to see your credit score. Like I was like, no, I got to see.
My last relationship ended because I saw his credit score.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a lot of reasons for that, but
Hey, yo.
But
First of all, we can train. You ain't leaving him with nothing. You got this freedom today. I need to bring up right now. And then I'm gonna have to check my listen. I will tell you the thing about a broke nigga with bad credit is this. There are rules concerning like tenancy in BC. If you stay longer than 31 days, it gives you tenant rights. So I would check my calendar every 15 days. We got to go. Every 15 days, get your ass up on my house. I can call you. I see you. You got like 3-4 days lapse. So every 15 days, I'm like, all right, it's time for you to go back to your mother house. There's another one. You live with your mama still. But I mean, I'm telling you, like, I'm not doing it. Bad credit, no financial understanding. You're talking about our future. We are not children. You're not understanding money, but only understanding the concept of how to spend is a problem for me now because I am past my impulse state. Now, don't get me wrong. I had bad credit just like everybody else when I was young. I walked in that house with an 850 because of a car note my mama paid. I'm telling you, I walked in that house with an 850, and all of a sudden they're giving me credit cards from everywhere. I said, "Oh my God, everybody loves me, man." I was tricking off.
See, my wife educated because I ain't never really had credit, cash, shoebox money. I ain't never had credit until 30.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Till 30?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Never.
That meant that, but that probably made you live within your means, though.
Yeah.
That probably set you.
I
You
think
have probably
it
had
was better financial management.
Yeah.
Because I was someone who had excellent credit and then messed it all up because you don't understand like
I've been
what
in
the plan is.
Yeah, but early years, like you said, opportunities though, it's like, damn, if I had known,
If I had known
educated,
what to do.
you know what I'm saying?
when you want to apply, when you want to start a business, when you want to buy a house, when you want to make major changes in your life, and you don't have credit, your credit ain't right. It blocks you from those.
Man, I was getting out the mud, bro.
It makes you go get a partner you might not really have needed. So now again, it's just opportunities and it's just education. But I'm like, if you can get into a house, like there are certain things like you need about a 620 and they'll get you that. So it's just knowing what programs, what to take advantage of. Get yourself to that minimum piece. Like NACA is one, but I'm like, man, people got like NACA's a great program, but a lot of people don't make it through because they don't have the discipline to make it through. So you need to be.
But the benefit of that is like NACA is one of the programs where you can pay your whole interest rate down. So I know girls who have gone through the entire program in NACA and like walked in with like a 0.0001.
Yeah, during the pandemic.
It is amazing what you can do if you follow through.
If you follow through, like, you know, those are the people right now that are still getting the 4% interest rates. But during the pandemic, they was getting the 1% interest rate. You know, 1%. I know somebody that's it's like 0.7.
Yeah.
They got a lot. So it's a great program. I recommend it. Like, hey, if you need to move right now, it's not the program for you. But if you got time, if you're being advanced, then you want to take like, hey, I'm gonna take 6 months to 12 months to do it.
Yeah.
Then that's a great program because now you can get in there. And they can help you buy down like your rates. you don't have a down payment, no PMI, so it makes it a much more affordable mortgage.
But it's stringent.
But if you got
They
great
watching
credit,
every account. Like,
yeah, they tell you how much you got to save each month.
if you got, they so strict. If you got $10,000 in your savings, then you like immediately move that to another account to pay your down payment, it'll hurt you because it's like, well, why did you move that whole
Yeah.
$10,000? Like,
Yeah.
things like that, like things you wouldn't consider.
Yeah.
Like,
But again, I've got one of my lenders. They got a $10,000 grant, no PMI, like, and then a below market interest rate. So you get really close to what NAC is offering, but without having the guidelines around that. But that again, you need a 720 to activate that.
Hmm.
So that's where I'm like, again, that's the opportunities. You want to move right now? You want a $10,000 grant, money you ain't got to pay back? Like no PMI, I got the lender, right? Like, but you got to have some of those opportunities available. So for some people, it's
Yep.
where they might overlook that credit score part or help you work on it, and then in that time frame, now you're coming out and you're coming out ahead. So it's just all these things help, but you got to like the education and people being and having the mindset to do it. People don't like. There's a lot of folks that won't like challenge themselves personally to actually go do what their plans, or they'll say, "Oh no, homes are too expensive. I can't do it," and then never try. Like, so they block themselves from that opportunity. And I always say to a lot of people I work with, I was like, if you tell yourself no, you'll always be right.
Yeah. Yep.
This guy needs TED.
Yep.
Watch
Yep.
that. That's crazy. Man,
Yep.
this guy.
No, I appreciate
No,
that.
absolutely, bro.
not for real. But we're
Yeah.
interested in your journey too, right?
Oh,
So I know, right? We gotta get into it.
Oh,
Right? Opportunists up here. We're interested. We bring you guys on here because we're interested in the difference in the journeys and also like some of the similarities, right? So like as far as your journey as an artist, how did it start? How did we get here?
oh man, that's a loaded question. It's a long journey,
Do it in 5 minutes.
5 minutes. I could be long-winded, so I'm gonna try to condense it as much as possible.
We know that's why we said do it in 5 minutes.
All right, so it started out, I always knew I wanted to be an artist. Pops was an artist. So I came out, my mother's womb, drawing. She used to sit me down and we used to draw basketball hoops. Yeah, me and my mother. And then like as I got older, my dad helped me, he saw that I really had a liking for doing this. So he like helped me enhance, my drawing skills. So after that, like people were like, "Oh, you a phenomenal artist," or whatever. So then I just took it to high school, the Duke Ellington School of the Arts. Yeah, and that's where it really like enhanced. So and a lot of my teachers actually went to school with my pops because he had gone to Howard. So I had to stay, really on my game when I drew. I'm my dad's son, so I don't want to make him look bad. So, I really took my craft seriously and honed it. So then, shout out to Norfolk State,
Okay.
my school, HBCU.
The inspiration is honest.
I gotta say that. I just furthered it to Norfolk State, and just went from there. I always knew that I wanted to be a comic book artist. I wanted to go in that lane. It's been a rough road for me. Like I remember, like just coming home from like spring break. I would go to like Comic Cons. I would go to a bunch of them. Whether it's here, I go to, I don't know, Philly. I might go to Richmond. I might go to New York. And I would always go to those like conventions and see like, if they could give me tips. They wouldn't give me nothing.
Damn.
Nothing.
That's actually kind of surprising to me.
Nothing.
Yeah.
This is because of,
Yeah.
you know what I'm
Really?
saying?
Really?
And I was gonna say something. It might be controversial, so I ain't gonna say it. But I think because of like, nah. So, all right, I said like I think that if I was I'm not like the tallest guy, but like if I was shorter and I wasn't don't.
Yes, yeah, brother.
If, you know, my complexion, you know, they probably would have gave me a little something else. They would have given me a little bit more advice, but you know, I just had to just learn myself and just, you know, just look at my classmates and we're just, you know, in Norfolk State, we're just, you know, feedback and learn just stuff like different techniques online. And that's pretty much how it started. So that's how the journey started. Now, how I did that is crazy. Like it's wild. So I hated I was so ready to get out of school. I was like, I'm done. I'm done with education. I don't want to do this shit no more. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So then like 2 years after I graduated, I was like, what was I thinking? I hate being an adult. But it's like, damn, I got like all these responsibilities and such and such and such. So yeah, right. So I was just kind of like, well, I miss school now. I miss those days where I had a lot of freedom. So let me just do something to give me comfort. And at the time, I was a Trader Joe artist. So a lot of people don't know. So a Trader Joe is like, whenever you go in there, everything is done hand drawn. Everything done from the littlest sign to the biggest sign, like to the mural. So it was in Silver Spring. And at the time, I was like, that was a great job. That's actually one of the best jobs I've ever had. And I work in education. I would rather work at Trader Joe's as an artist than be
like a teacher.
Yeah, I shouldn't say that. I'm so sorry. I should not have said that. That's a lot. No. Wait, let me say this. I'm blessed. The school that I work at now, I got the best students in the world. The best students in the world. Yeah. So it has nothing to do with that school. The last school I was at, nah. I'd rather work at Trader Joe's. This school I'm at, I'm with. It takes a certain person to do it.
I couldn't do it. I was a camp counselor for a couple months when I was growing up, and it told me everything. I would never go into education.
Yeah.
I can deal with the grown babies. I just can't deal with the actual children.
I work with children.
Shout out to you, though, man.
Thank you, man. Like I was that person. Like, you know, I remember I was at a family reunion, and it was like at the time my cousin he had worked for DCPS. He was like, "Man, you should become a teacher." I was like, "Man, you crazy? Like, you can't get me to work with those kids." Like, I'm the type of person like
that's crazy.
And you see a kid in the back of the car, they just look at you. I'm like, I start sweating. I'm like, what is this kid looking at? Don't look at me. Like, stop. Like,
oh my
please.
gosh.
Or like if I was in church and a kid look at me, I would like, leave, kid. Like, stop looking at me. So, but like my cousin was like, nah, I promise you would be good with working with kids. So I was like, whatever. So I remember I was at a family reunion. I was just sitting down drawing Ninja Turtle. Kid walked right here. Another kid walked right there, and they was just standing there looking. Next thing I know, it's like 10 kids around me, and they just asking me questions about who was that? And can you draw this? Can you draw that? And I'm like, damn, maybe I am pretty good with kids. And this is like a month before I started working with like the little ones.
Oh my God.
I know, right? And I always I ain't never working with high schoolers. I've stayed with the little kids. Now I'm working with high schoolers because I always thought they would be like, I remember how
man, good job, man. Work with the children, man.
Hey.
They need us.
They do. I'd rather work with children than the grown up babies.
Brother.
I can't do grown up babies. God, man.
I
don't know why I have more patience. I think it's because I have the ability to like have that intellectual conversation. And children, you have to have the patience to say that this kid's mind
supposed to be in. And I fought this for years. I'm not gonna lie. Like I was always like, no, I'm not doing it. I don't want to work with no kids, no students. But like, it's to the point now. Like the students love to come in my room and say, "Can we just eat in here?" And I'm like, oh, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Because I'm thinking about my teacher, Mr. Bennett, Mr. Davis. Like they would let us just come in. Like if we had video game system, we could just hook it up.
Means there's trust.
Exactly. And they like that. So it's like, and I said, if I'm gonna do this, I want them to have the same feeling that I had with the teachers when I was in high school.
Mm-hmm.
So like it makes me feel good. I don't mean I'm supposed to be talking about that, but
You right.
the student, the student, stop confirming it for me. Nah, joke. So like the students had an art show, right? This is wild. It's a wild story. And this was like 2 weeks ago. They had like their own, exhibit or whatever at the school. Parents was coming. And it's funny, I used to do this event called Vine of the Rhyme. And it used to be at they closed down. It was on Ivy City, the old club.
Chief something.
Nah, I was with like Love and all that. It used to be it was a city winery. That's where it was.
Oh, okay.
And so I used to like rock with these Philly cats, and they used to like have like this thing where they would have like wine and they would pair it with different artists. So like they could have like, I don't know, SWV, or they could have Usher, and they would have certain wines to go with certain songs. Anyway, make a long story short, I used to meet a lot of people doing the live art. I would do the live art while they would whatever. So getting back to this, the art show or whatever, one of the students was like, I want to introduce you to my mother. I'm like, all right, cool. So she introduced me to the mom, and I'm like, hold up. Don't I know you? And she looked at me, she's like, yeah, I know you too. And then we was like, oh, was it City Winery? And she's like, her daughter kept saying, oh, Mr. J is cool, blah, 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 blah. She was like, I got to see who this Mr. J is. And then when she saw him, she was like, oh, I know this guy. So it makes me feel good to know that the students think I'm cool. So I am where I'm supposed to be. I'm trying to be there long. But, I'm where I'm supposed to be. And, I'm trying to get them to where I am with this. I'm giving them the guidance to get to that, because I didn't have the guidance. Despite me going to Duke Ellington, Duke Ellington wasn't catered to that. Duke Ellington is just trying to make you become a good artist. Norfolk State was more like, excuse me, Norfolk State, I apologize, but like they had Disney come. I'm like, bet.
Yeah.
This is for me. I'm about to show my ass off. That shit wasn't even for us. It was for like business. I'm like, how you gonna have Disney come and not for us? I'm sorry, Norfolk State, I love you. But anyway, I'm trying to give these kids guidance to do this. All right. So anyway, back to the comic book. All right. Because I get to go off topic.
Well, the only thing I will say is we talked about this earlier, like in terms of being like the struggles and stuff and making that. I was like, I think having that struggle has now like allowed you to start to recognize that people don't have that opportunity, don't have that guidance. So when she said you're exactly where you're supposed to be, but it is like, hey, you're now gonna be that person that helps those people not have to walk that same path. So I was like, I think that's incredible. But
somebody else's life easier. So you're right.
I
And
appreciate
sometimes
that.
like that's the nature of it.
That's what it's
Like,
about.
in
Yeah,
every
yeah.
aspect of life, sometimes your purpose as you move through things becomes helping someone else achieve theirs.
Yeah.
So I mean,
That's where
always
happiness
well
comes
received by-
from. You can't. Well, I don't say you can't. Happiness comes from that part, right? You at peace. You're quiet. You sound contentment at heart. You can't buy that. Really, you buy with money. You buy more problems and more difficulty.
That's true.
Now, if you overcome the difficulty, for sure, there's a level of happiness there. But that's what you're paying for. More challenges, more difficulty. But that's cool. So what you're doing is what you're supposed to do, and you at peace and you happy. So sometimes we in this Western world we get caught up on social media comparing ourselves and doing this. I may want more, whatever, the vanity part. But you paying it forward to the children, because moving forward for so long, no one teaches us nothing.
Yeah.
Like we just talking about the crediting thing. Like for a lot of black men, we didn't know.
Yeah, that's
You know what I'm
true.
saying?
That's-
It would be
that's so
cool
true.
to have somebody educate us that, or somebody teach it. Like I grew up on comic books too.
Yeah,
I would love to have seen someone that looked like me come in my classroom and doing that. And because a lot of us coming up was in love with comic books, we broke away from it.
yeah,
Like, we didn't know it was
Lack of
possible.
exposure.
yeah.
Like it was exposure. We didn't know it was possible.
And Comic-Con and all of that kind of stuff, like these things that you can like freely attend now anywhere that you want. I don't remember those things like when I was in high
Facts.
school.
Yeah.
So
facts.
like you can go to them now, but
Yeah.
accessibility has changed so
A lot.
drastically over the last
Yeah.
A lot.
last 15 years. So like there are
Facts.
things that you can very easily access now, but if you had access to those things or the people running or teaching you how to like commiserate during those things, imagine how much further you will be.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like
Facts.
that's the unfortunate part of like, you know, hindsight's 2020. And sometimes like you look back, you're like, damn, if I had a teacher who could show me how to like do a comic book, who could show me how to write a script, who could
Yeah.
show me how to invest when I graduate from
Tangible
when I
stuff.
get out of
Yeah.
college, like how to build my credit as soon as I graduate from high school, which would
That would have been major. That would have been major.
Major, bro.
That would have been
I
major.
feel like we're back with to save a lot of money if we just know all this shit
Man.
before we got Frostburg.
Hey, let me tell you.
I got Frostburg.
Yo, hey,
But I think I could have saved myself some time and made a couple
Nah,
extra
for
dollars
real,
if I'd have knew that what I
Yeah.
know now.
For real.
Honestly.
For real.
yeah,
Yes, you know, yes, but like no, it's like you those trials and tribulations
They
they
all make
they
people who you are.
they make you who you are. You
But-
need to go
Yeah,
through some
yeah.
of the things, but
Hindsight 2020.
but if you have all the knowledge of what you like, if you
have
know your
people
craft,
teaching you,
Mm.
and if you have that exposure at 17,
yeah.
right? So if you're getting what you need, right? All the things that you have now and still continuing to build at a time where you're a sponge, you're young, you're more
Man.
susceptible,
Yeah.
information is easier to grasp.
Yeah,
People are more willing to give you opportunity because of the youth sometimes. If you
Mm,
get between 14 and 18, right? What you get between 25 and 30, who knows?
It's-
But
That's how it's supposed to
So-
be.
that will-
Be,
I think
yeah.
that
Yeah.
it really is the value of like encouraging the next generation.
yep,
Right? Which is why we need to have the live show. That's where these conversations are coming from, because it's important to sit down with people right here, right now, and say these are the tools that you can use to make yourself better.
I
You
think
ain't gotta wait 5 years.
You know,
Mhm.
You ain't gotta wait for the right mentor to come
Yeah.
along. We're gonna give it to you right now.
but
Yeah.
you know what I'm giving them like, and I tell them, and they kind of laugh at it because I know they're nervous, but I'm like, look, like, and it's funny that you said something about right. I'm like, all right, I want you all like whenever like this isn't even an assignment that I'm grading you. This is like your personal assignment. I want you to like give me like bios of your characters. I want you to come up with like a script of what your story is going to be.
Yeah.
That's what I want.
Mm.
And then I'm like, I told some of the parents, I'm like, you know, I want them to get this stuff trademarked. By the time they hit 18 and they done with high school, even if they don't go to college, because they got social media, they have all this stuff access to them. I told them, I said, I want to see people in your line want an autograph
Mhm.
of your book. That's what I want. I've experienced it, and it's a beautiful. Not even before that, when I'm like my artwork before like my like old social media got hacked. It's such a good feeling going to another city, and somebody's like, "Damn, I recognize you." Like even with you, I'm like, I know this dude. Like it's just such a good feeling, and I want them to like experience that so much. So that's what I'm trying to give to them. I know they young and they don't really get it, but like that's what I'm trying to prep them. They'll
Mhm.
see you as soon as they leave. They'll see it. So
Yep.
we wanted to like reel it back in. So anyway, back to that. I didn't like being an adult. I missed being in college. So I was like, let me do some caricatures of my old classmates. Right? That's gonna bring me some peace. I was on my way out of Trader Joe's because some corporate stuff was happening. I didn't like it. Fuck it, I'm gonna say why. So yeah, fuck it, I don't care. Excuse my language. So like we had the best job or whatever, and like artists didn't have to work weekend. Everybody else had to work weekend. They had to, it was on register. They had to do it. We didn't have to do None of that. We come in, we had 9 to 5, 8 to 5, 9 to 5, whatever. So we had to, whatever. We would leave Monday through Friday at that time. So things started happening. I guess, whispers started going around the company, and old co-workers didn't like that. They didn't like that we didn't work weekends. So there was a specific artist, that's my man to this day, I will not say his name. Good guy. They had him like working Monday through Thursday, whatever. He had to work Friday. But he would work from home because he lived way out in Frederick. They would let him do murals. He didn't have to come into the store, whatever. He would get paid. But like with me, they was like, so Jay, something's gotta give. And I'm like, what do you mean something's gotta give? You gotta start working weekends, buddy. I'm like, I'm not doing that. If he doesn't have to do it, why should I have to do it? Anyway, I don't even want to go in that direction. But I'm like, I'm out of here. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're not doing it, and I know why you're doing it too, but hint. But anyway, so I'm on my way out.
Everything's so racial with you guys today. What's happening?
Yeah, it's crazy.
No, I think like everybody's had a moment at different, like especially maybe some larger corporations where you go, they'll like you see.
I worked for companies and they was like, yeah, we have all this diversity, and then it goes, really, huh? You go look at your you go pull up the executive leadership like at the very top. I'm like, it's a lot of diversity. It looks like you got the only diversity is in your last names. Like they all look the same. Y'all could all be related. And so
honestly, when we talk about like diversity at corporations, I need to see what the executive board looks like.
Yeah.
You got all this diversity at the bottom. What does it look like at the top of your organization?
The giant
Or I remember being at a company and it was like they would say they had
diversity in their hiring practices and all the people they hired. So they hired a lot of trainees, and the trainees became the managers. But then they would hit them with a glass ceiling, because then when it was time to go from assistant to like the branch or area manager, that's where you would see all of that diversity just die. Like so, it's like you'd be in they'd be in Baltimore or whatever, and it's like so you mean to tell me your entire area is white? And it's like, but then it's like 90% of your hires are black. Like, you can't tell me that.
You think TJ is gonna sue me?
No, but this organization that I worked for, this is what they did. Like, to be frank, the CEO was like 5'4". You're talking $1 trillion in assets.
Damn.
Probably at that point in time, like 385 billion in liquid. They were like real estate tech. So like we helped I'm not gonna say that because that gives too much indication. But we helped like football teams find their ring. Right. So if you're the Commanders, right, you're building a new stadium, right? You don't want it to be RFK, right? You're looking for somewhere else to put it. We're the people that are gonna help you figure that out.
Yeah.
So he was like 5'4", and so he was very Napoleon-like. He was the kind of person that used to walk in the office on random and look at people like in their desks, see if people were on their phones, take people's phones, and like fire people that day because he always had to feel in control because he was 5'4". So like I remember like looking at really like the first layer of that organization, which was like research and analysis. That's kind of where you started if you had a degree. And so that was where I started too. Tons of diversity, right? Men, women, all races. The more you start moving up though. I'm looking at the managers who are really doing all the work. I'm like, there's one Black female manager at this level. The rest of these are like, this is like a fraternity in here.
Oh, wow.
And like, I'm talking about this lady had worked for that company for like 20, 25 years at that point. And I mean, she's making good money. You're getting paid for this because we were publicly traded.
Yeah.
But I don't want to just make more money. I want like credit for the work that I do.
Yeah.
And so that is the thing that I've noticed at several of the corporations that I've worked for. Because all the diversity is at the bottom.
What you about to say? So
Management. It's
No,
like,
I mean
People
that
have something
drove
good to say.
that drove me towards entrepreneurship.
Yep.
Because ultimately, and I think that's where it's like people forget to develop the skills along the way. So I stopped being jaded by like that glass ceiling or seeing some of those things. I just took it for what it was. It's like, hey, if I'm going to be the number one manager here, and then I'm going to go over here and be a top salesperson here, I'm just going to take all the skills, all the infrastructure that you guys provide, and then when I go out off to real estate, now I implement those things. So when I started my real estate team, Tribe Residential, like I inputted all those things that I learned from all these organizations, but it drove me to entrepreneurship because I realized that I shouldn't keep begging people to make a space for me.
What did
If I did what I was supposed to do, and when I had to realize their only obligation was to pay me on time. So you paid me on time. That's what I did. My obligation was to show up to work on time, get my job done. I did that. I'm not like it, whether I move up the corporate ladder or not, like it's just that's something else. So if I really want a space that I can control, then I'm just better off creating that space that I can control.
And honestly, this is why I always say, like, test and trial come to make you mature, complete, so that you lack nothing. Like, you go through these things in life, and it can like hurt you, right? And it'll make you feel like, man, like, what am I doing? Or I'm so far behind, like some of my peers, or I thought I would be in XYZ.
Yeah, I know that feeling. Yeah.
Like, why am I still not seeing the progress? But again, I think like things happen for your protection.
Yeah.
I think like God is maturing you. That's why I love that particular scripture. I think that there are a lot of situations where, like, you could have all the success, you could have all the things, but you may not be.
Yeah.
And I remember like recently Joe Budden was saying, he was talking about a lot of artists about the industry. I believe because their nervous system can't survive like the strenuous nature of the industry. And I think that that's true. I think like you can reach the highest heights and realize that you are not equipped to stay there.
Yeah.
So I think it's important to go through your tests, to go through your trials, to make your mistakes honestly, look at yourself honestly, following those mistakes and say, okay, this is where I missed it. Like, how do I get it right? How do I push forward? Like, how do I become a better version of myself? How do I take this loss and turn it into a win? And ultimately, I've always felt like you win or you learn, you never really lose anything.
Yeah.
And so, like, that's just how I see things. Like, if I make a mistake, that's not a loss for me. Like, I made a mistake and I learned something.
That's a good way.
And I'll never make that mistake again.
Yeah.
So, that's just how I feel about life. I just feel like everything that you go through is meant to redefine you, is meant to move you closer to your purpose and to turn you into who you need to be in order to glorify the Father. So
Wow. I
that's
love
how I
that.
see things. And on that note, Shay,
Love that.
Yeah,
flip the script. Let's do it.
struggle is ordained. All right, flip the script. I'm gonna ask you. We'll do it through the time. 2 questions. This or that. Just give me, after you choose which answer, just give me a little brief why. Your mindset behind it. All right. So first one. Would you rather be remembered for what you achieved or for how people felt around you?
Oh, I'll let you answer that first.
Say it one more time.
Would you rather be remembered for what you achieved or for how your people felt around you?
Why would you ask me that? That's like both. Like, I mean,
Give me one. Pick one.
you know what? You know what's more important to me? Even though that's my love and I love art, if I made you feel good, that's all I want. That's the only thing I want.
Right.
Because at the end of the day, like, I gotta ascend to the next level, and the only way for me to do that, I have to leave an impact on the world of my character. That's it. That's my answer.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think because of who I am, I'm very. I would say that I couldn't be happy if the people around me weren't being happy.
Yeah.
So I always say that in my business and everything that I've done, that if I help everyone around me win, then there's no way I can lose. So
damn, that was a bar.
Mm-hmm.
So that
That's nice,
in that
inherently I'm not really worried about my accomplishments. Although, like I feel like everybody wants to accomplish great things. So that's why that's a hard question to this. Like, damn, I do want to have lasting achievements, but my priority is always that isn't goal number one. It is goal like when I'm helping you, I'm trying to make sure you are in position to win.
Yeah.
And I don't worry about me winning. I just worry about getting you to your goal. You win, cool, and I will make sure you win. I do protect my neck. Like I still grew up in the like Columbia Heights in the 90s was watch your back, check your block, check who's behind you every block. Like I still do all those things. But at the same point, I still make sure everybody around me is like, hey, you guys are in position to win. You guys have those things. And then suddenly, somehow, wow, you're more successful. But if you look around, everybody, like hearing you, like you're more successful from our meeting, that brings joy to my heart.
Yeah, that's nice.
Irregardless of how much I'm a part of the success, it's like, hey, just that I was able to have a positive impact. Amazing. That's my thoughts, because it always comes around to me in a different area. So, but if everyone surrounding me, you made them feel good, you helped them elevate their lives, chances are they will help you elevate yours as well. So that,
yes, sir.
I think
there's rewarding with
I like that.
it's tough though, because you do want to be like, I don't want to achieve nothing.
All right.
I want to leave something behind, it's tough because you don't want to like have nothing to have left behind, but you want to. But if you made it like, hey, what would you rather have, if like this or that? Like, I guess it is how the people felt around me, and that's
an achievement itself, right?
Yeah.
All right, bet. All right. Speaking of happiness, right? That's what we were talking about. Would you rather define happiness by freedom and time, or by financial security and stability?
I'll let you answer that one first. Yeah. I think I'm gonna need you to repeat that one.
So say it one more time.
Would you rather define happiness by freedom and time, or by financial security and stability?
So one side of me wants to say financial security and all of that, but freedom and time. Okay. I love freedom. I think that's what's more important to me. Just my freedom is just time. And I love going to parks. I love sitting in nature. I'm a cigar smoker. So I that's what I do. I love basking in the ambiance of nature and just being free. The hustle and bustle, if it's away from me, like that's beautiful to me. I want to say financial security and all of that, but that's what I value a lot. Like I'm sad right now because I can't go out to a park. I can't go and I can walk, I can sit, but it's cold. I can't do what I want to really, really do. I can't just drive to Mayo Beach.
The cold snap in DC has been insane.
You know what I'm saying? So like I really like as I get older, I really understand what I really truly value. And I would have to say that.
Yes, sir.
So that's what I
for me, I would say that almost feels like a trick question, because I don't feel like I have freedom without like financial security.
Oh man.
So like just personally speaking, because that's how they entrap you, is with financial
like how you said that's how they entrap you. See, so now moving forward, right? We're going to 2026, right? Even with the event we're doing, right? Like we have to shift the paradigm, right? Get out of the entrapment, right? So networking across, meeting brothers, because just being on the couches, hearing brothers on the guests, the black man and woman, they're waking up, right? So if we can change how this system is, if we just come, we haven't tried it, we haven't came together yet, we haven't passed down to the next generation. Once we do that, then financial stability, that's a westernized thing, right? Because all our wealth is here, it's on the resources, the ground. So we can have that, but I understand the Western, you got to have money to be a free man here. But if we come together and build our own together like an entrepreneur do, then you have freedom, then you have your own stability because this is your own system or your structure.
Yeah.
So I like how you said that. As long as you see that is and it's entrapment.
Yeah, no, because because that's just the only way I can look at it, right? Like if you are financially unstable, you can't be free from anything.
That's
you can't
true.
like even your thoughts will be cloudy. Like,
The westernized system is built on debt. It's designed to keep you trapped forever. If you are forever in debt, bad credit, and no money, and a materialistic, consumerist way of seeing the world, which means that you don't really understand how money works or how to make it work for you over like a long period of time, then you're always trapped.
Imagine if, especially during the COVID or whatever, just imagine if all 4 million of us say we ain't paying rent or mortgage no more.
Oh man.
Just imagine what that would do. You know what I'm saying? Because really,
you know what impacts that would have. That would be so massive.
Yeah.
I think you would see a lot more change though from saying if everyone just said, I want my money out of the bank.
I'm telling you.
I want all my money.
So we haven't seen eye to eye. We haven't done nothing
If
together
you did
yet.
that, you say, hey,
You know
we're
what I'm
gonna
saying?
all of our money out of the bank all at the same time. We're gonna start our own thing over there. You would have seen a massive change from that because but you're effectively doing the same thing. You're moving the wealth from one thing to another. So but that's where I'm like, ooh.
Yeah, just imagine,
I'm like, what changes?
but
but
God
Look at
is forcing. God is forcing that reality anyway because the dollar's falling. So one day, people will be burning money in the street just to stay warm. So when that day happened, how was the world shaped then when money ain't got value to? Because the paper, we putting value on it. You know what I'm saying? We putting value on this right now.
Well, I think that's why it's even more important to own assets.
Yes,
like, because the paper is a trading platform.
Yep.
To me. It's like the like money, like it's like I remember one of my cousins said he's like money's fake, and we went on an hour-long argument like how dare you, and then I stopped and thought about it, and I was like I paid for something at the store with my card. Where's the money?
Yeah.
and it was like a little epiphany, and it was like, hold up, this money like it doesn't.
When that money is like that number that's sitting in the account.
It's just a number.
Usually because they take that from you.
Yeah.
Yes.
So how's it real?
Just like that. It's exactly like that.
That account is still all of that. Your bank could say, "Oh well, we saw like somebody trying to take 20,000 from you, so now it's gone."
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
How real is it really?
Or
Your bank could take it from you without your permission. That literally just happened. Chase Bank, an older woman, she had her life savings, I think it was like 87,000 in a Chase Bank account. Someone had stolen that one, like came into the bank branch and took all of that money out. And Chase is saying, well, we can't replace it.
Right.
They can't.
Wow, you serious?
They can't because the money you put in the bank we was lending off, that was our loan.
Yeah.
I can't replace that. You know what I'm saying?
So I mean, but that's why the true value is in ownership, right?
There you go.
That is the assets that you own. So if you do have houses, plural, if you do have, or just at least own the asset that you like live in, and you have other stocks or other things that they can't just readily take from you, then that's really where the wealth will come in. Because then if the dollar falls, your value of your asset is probably going to rise. And so
More importantly, the land.
yeah.
That's where.
Or when people tell me it's like, oh, real estate's gonna crash by this amount of percentage, I'm like, so you mean to tell me that? I mean, every time you said you mentioned at the start the ICE checkpoint, so like, all right, so you're gonna lock up all the people that work on the construction sites, and so that means labor is probably gonna go up. You put tariffs on everything, so materials already went up. So how's homes supposed to get cheaper? Like if the entire cost surrounding the building of the product gets significantly more expensive, how does the asset fall in value?
Yeah.
50-year mortgage.
And then you add a 50-year mortgage to drop it. But even that is like, yeah, you drop that same asset by $200. See, we made it more affordable. It's like, what? Like, you didn't.
As you increase my interest by $300,000, that's when that 50-year mortgage does.
Yeah.
Decreases your monthly by $300 to increase your interest by $300,000.
It'll never happen because how much bad press came about it, because there's too many educated people that just said like, yeah, that's a
Not
trap.
Stupid just because he is.
Yeah. Wait.
Moving on. Point being, wonderful show today.
This
Mhm.
is great.
Yeah.
Thank you all. You all were great.
Yes,
This
sir.
is real deep. I didn't know we were gonna get this deep. So yeah, I love
Well,
it.
it could go deeper, but
That's
yeah,
great.
pause.
Pause.
We got
Yeah,
we got sponsors, you know what I
Absolutely.
mean? We get some money these days, you know what I mean? We got comedy. But back in the day, I ain't heard y'all, you know what I'm saying? You want our old shit, go watch the old episodes. Say like Jay was telling y'all. You know what I'm saying? Go watch the old episodes if you want to see us turn up. We got sponsors now. Shout out to Arthur Will Spirits.
Yeah.
Great episode today. So honored, so blessed to have you guys.
Thank you
sit
for
here.
having me.
Mhm.
You know, we are careful about who we put in these seats because we careful about how we share our energy too. And so we don't just let anybody sit down. I'm told 3-4 y'all know this week. I'm so sorry. But we are careful about who we sit down with, who we share energy with, who we share stories and experiences with. And so anybody that we do get an opportunity to sit in these seats with, to us is very important, very valuable, and we feel very fortunate to do it. So we're gonna get on out of here. Make sure y'all attend the live event
Whoa.
on January 25th. We'll be at 381 Moore Street at Dry DC, who is helping to sponsor the event,
Mhm.
along with Arthur Wheeler Spirits. We will have 4 amazing panelists, so we might be swapping one of those panelists. We got 2.
Yeah, this guy.
We're gonna talk to him about it. But
Yeah.
make sure y'all
I'm
come out to
going.
the live event Sunday, January 25th. You can RSVP. Link is in the bio on TikTok, on IG at You Weren't There Podcast. Make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe, and follow us. Chad?
Hey man, I appreciate y'all brothers for real. It's been a blessing sitting with y'all. Like she said, January 25th, come out. This is the You Weren't There podcast, man. Like, share, and subscribe. Hey, God first. Struggle is ordained. Remember that. Yeah, so we out. Peace.
All right.